President Trump announced that U.S. and Iranian officials will meet in Doha tomorrow. The Iranians have not confirmed this. His announcement comes after both sides, as you probably read over the weekend, exchanged a fair amount of fire. CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang joins us now from the White House. What is the view there on the probability of these talks actually occurring and their agenda?
Well, Major, according to the president, as you just laid out, these talks are happening, and he said he is sending his top negotiators, Steve Witkoff and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, to Doha tomorrow for very high-level talks. But, Major, the problem is the Iranians deny these high-level talks are happening. In fact, they say that while there are planned discussions happening, it is not with the U.S., it is with Qatari mediators, and it is to go through all the technical details in that memorandum of understanding that is supposed to happen before a final peace deal is negotiated. So we're looking at two very different views and two very different sides where these two parties can't even agree on whether the talks are happening or not. But the White House insists that they are. So tomorrow we'll have to get a readout from Kushner and Witkoff to see exactly who they were talking to and what they talked about.
Weijia Jiang, North Lawn of the White House, thank you very much. I am joined now by Aaron David Miller, Senior Fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, and I'm happy to say a friend of this program. Aaron David Miller, great to have you with us. Try to help us understand where we are in a process where we can't even get clarity on if something is happening and who's attending.
Yeah, I'll do my best, Major. Thanks for having me. Look, failed U.S. and Israeli military campaign led to flawed memorandum of understanding, which has led to very flawed process of implementation. A serious negotiation depends on both parties having a shared sense of urgency, enough pain to motivate them to come to the table, and enough prospect of gain to keep them there. I think that we're watching two parties, Washington and Tehran, that don't have a shared sense of urgency. Remember what the Taliban said way back when about the U.S. policy in Afghanistan? You have the clock, they said, but we have the time. And the fact is, the Iranians have reaped dividends and benefits, which frankly has only encouraged them to believe, A, that they're winning, and I don't think they're delusional, and B, they've identified two sources of leverage, Lebanon on one hand, why our negotiators agreed to make Article 1, literally linking Lebanon to the U.S.-Iranian Memorandum of Understanding and mentioning the word Lebanon 3 times, I don't understand. And then you got the Straits. And let's be clear, whether it's the horse has left the barn or the genie's out of the bottle or I don't know what other cliche you could use, we are not going back to February 27, where the Straits were free and unfettered. Iran has their hands all over them, and they're going to seek remuneration to use those Straits, weaponizing geography, basically as leverage. So we are where we are. I would only say one more thing. If you really are serious about this, the two sides need to come to an understanding, a quid pro quo. In return for diluting all that highly enriched uranium and ensuring that the inspectors can keep you away from a nuclear weapon, we will facilitate billions of dollars in unfrozen asset sanctions relief and will continue to provide sanctions waivers so you can sell your oil. That is the trade-off. And unless it becomes clear that both sides are prepared for that trade-off, I think you and I are going to have a lot of conversations.
1 minute to go, Aaron David Miller. Help me understand the economic importance of this fact. The U.S. Central Command confirmed that strikes were carried out Friday against Iranian targets after the markets closed. A senior U.S. official said there would be these talks in Doha before overseas markets opened. In the intervening time over the weekend, there was a lot of crossfire back and forth. But those announcements both seem to me to be timed to market forces.
I mean, I think that the administration is in this war of choice badly handled. I think in terms of market manipulation, both stock market and oil traders, I think the administration has been incredibly smart. Why Brent is not well over $100 a barrel right now It got up to 130 when Russia invaded Ukraine, but then it fell back. I can't understand it. The oil traders either don't want to believe or somehow seem to think that the straits are going to basically return to status quo ante. JP Morgan did a study, granted it was notional. They argued that the Iranians could make $70 to $80 billion a year, slapping $2 million transit fee on 130 tankers times 365 days. You do the math. It actually works out. Whether it's that severe or not, I don't know. It's just that we bought ourselves into what I think is going to be a permanent set of migraine headaches and root canals. And I think this administration is just not ready for it.
Aaron David Miller, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.